Sunday the 23rd of May 2003, 3 o'clock. The 106th season of competitive football in Scotland was about to reach its climactic end. The oldest city rivals in the world, Rangers and Celtic, were locked together in one of the most nail-biting finishes to a season ever. They'd left the competition in their wake, a full 34 points behind this old firm, private war.
Normally, if there's a last day of a domestic season, Rangers and Celtic are neck and neck, it's going to come down to a shootout. The papers would have been full of it for day after day after day after day, but because of the UEFA Cup final, this incredible league finale was just suddenly landed upon us.
The assumption was that both sides would win. Who was going to score the most goals?
We had the advantage that we played home against Dunfermline. You know, get the crowd behind you, 50,000 people, they're up for it. And we knew Celtic, they had to play Kilmarnock, Rugby Park, difficult game, an away game. And it was all down to goal difference.
The Celtic fans again come down to Kilmarnock. They overtake the stadium. But you know Rangers at home at Dunfermline. You know 9 times out of 10 Rangers are going to beat them.
I remember I was at Rugby Park that day, and part of me's thinking, I don't know if they'll be able to lift themselves here.
You didn't have time to be disappointed. You know, you'd a responsibility and a duty to do. When you with a championship to win, and you know, one thing we didn't want was Rangers winning that.
We knew that 2 goals or 3 goals that would not be enough.
Ice in the head flying the belly. We knew you had to go out there fully focused, fully driven to get the result.
We knew if we won that championship it would have been 50, and it was a record. The atmosphere was unbelievable.
We're going to try and win the game first and foremost, and if we can score some extra goals, then it's a bonus because we might have to. It was a fantastic fight right to the very end.
It was just the most incredible day, single day I think, that the Scottish League had seen for generations.
You could feel the tension not only in the park but also on the stand, and people listening to radios. We had a fantastic start because we scored already after a few minutes the 1-0.
He got the shot away! He got the shot in! 2.5 minutes gone!
You can imagine the crowd to become absolutely crazy. That is a really big help. And the atmosphere was fantastic.
The Marnock fans let us know because every time Rangers had scored they were cheering.
And then all of a sudden it became very quiet because unexpected Dunfermline scored the equaliser, and it was a fantastic goal.
And Dunfermline are level!
And all of a sudden we looked to each other and think, ooh, what's happening here? Because that was not the scenario we had in our mind.
They were to just keep driving the players on, never mind, just keep driving on and look for goals.
Basically you had 2 eyes on the pitch at Rugby Park and an ear to the radio and the commentary coming in from Ibrox.
Canisius!
We scored 2-1, and of course we knew what was happening at Rugby Park.
From then on, it was just Celtic were ahead, Rangers were ahead, Celtic were ahead, Rangers were ahead, and you just couldn't call it at any stage.
Not a bad ball in ever! Not a bad ball for Alvarado to score Rangers third.
Thompson plays it in. Oh, what a mess going on in there, that's it!
McLeish said as well in the dressing room, 45 minutes, go out, try to score as many goals as possible, try to be patient as well. Try to keep the ball in the team and put pressure on their defence, and eventually you will score goals.
I said to them, it only takes a second to score a goal, you've got to keep driving forward.
Sometimes the crowd became very quiet, and then we knew actually that the league was actually going to Celtic.
Alan Thompson remains calm, steps up, left-footed, brilliantly scored! And Celtic take pole position in the championship race. Alan Thompson.
Looking back, there were a couple of defining moments within the 90 minutes that really should have pointed to a Rangers victory. There was a moment, I think, where Henrik Larsson hit the post at Rugby Park, and as that was happening, Ronald de Boer was scoring for Rangers against Dunfermline at Ibrox.
McCann's delivery! De Boer's header! 4-1 Rangers!
You know by the noise that things are not going for you.
Results getting fed on, whether they're true or false, you just don't know. So it's important to stay really calm, really focused.
McCann turns away from Mason, gets to the byline, and Stephen Thompson scores Rangers' 100th league goal of the season.
Minute by minute you were getting updates coming from Ibrox, and it was uncanny the way the games were unfolding at both ends of the M77.
The ball went out and I ran out to get a shy, and one of the punters shouted, Alan Thompson had missed a penalty and skied over the bar. So next thing I'm shouting at everybody else. I remember that bit.
penalty would have taken Celtic a goal away from the championship. They might be in again though. Petrov for the chance! And Celtic have made it four! And Stilian Petrov scores! It's game on once more at Rugby Park!
Celtic led 4-0, Rangers led 5-1. It was balanced perfectly.
We were looking for a fifth goal and we kept plugging away, and we didn't really know what way it was going until, you know, maybe 2-3 minutes before the end of the season. Like, we knew we had to score maybe one or maybe two to win, like, and we just kept banging away and having a go, like, you know, but it just wasn't to be.
It's a penalty against Mark McGarty.
Arteta dispatched it brilliantly, expertly. The way I like to see a penalty hit, a good run up, he's passed it firmly into the corner of the net, goalkeeper, not getting near it.
Rangers 6, Dunfermline 1.
People talk about fine lines in football. There were no finer lines than there were that afternoon. It really could have gone either way.
At the final whistle, it was a weird sort of silence, considering how many people were crammed into that ground that day. But I wasn't quite sure if we'd won the league or not.
It was surreal at times. Just, and again, thankfully that we got enough goals and Celtic didn't.
Won 4-0. I don't think people could have asked any more of us from that, like, you know, and unfortunately that wasn't enough.
They'd given their all. They had taken us all on an incredible adventure to a European final, something we never thought we'd do, and they ended up with nothing. And well, that's football, isn't it? But it really felt unfair that day.
The final whistle goes at Rugby Park. Rangers have won their 50th title.
I remember I just jumped on the table and lifted the cup. My two boys were there and my mates were there, and it was great to enjoy it with them.
Yeah, you can imagine the celebrations after the game. They were absolutely brilliant and fantastic. But we knew as well that a couple of days later that we had to play a cup final. And although winning the league was for us so important and the most important thing before the start of the season, we knew as well that again you could write history by again winning a treble.
Lorenzo Amoruso scores.
Stuff dreams are made of. Really, you grow up watching and all different captains lifting trophies.
It's the treble for Rangers.
So it's a great achievement to go up the likes of John Gregg and whatever, so I'll never forget that day, never.
The cup final was my last game of my career, and actually to finish your career by winning the treble is absolutely a fantastic finish of my football career.
This was Rangers' moment.